We're live. Welcome to the Atrl after party. Sorry I'm late, y'all. Alpha just ended. Waiting for everybody to get here. If you want to jump up HBR, you can. Jason, Victoria, whoever. Heather. Whoever wants to hop in, just hit the link. It should be uh, pinned. Like I said, I'm just waiting for people to show up. I got a train coming, so anybody with headphones on, you might want to protect your ears. We welcome y'all. What up, Jason?
What up?
Not much.
Nice.
I'm just chilling, as I always am. Hey, Victoria. Hi, Heather. Hi, HBR. Anybody else who's here that I missed? Had to do this over Restream because Restream's being a little bitch to me. It's not letting me schedule anything ahead of time. I have to just do it right away or not. Hey, fireman. If any of y'all haven't catched it, I did an interview with Alpha Tyler that's about 2.5 hours long on the channel. It's in the playlist under interviews. It was a fun time. We did that yesterday.
Okay, that was weird. You were muted for like a moment, and then all of a sudden you came in talking about some interview.
Well, I guess it might be the Wi-Fi signal being weak or something. You hear me good now?
Yeah.
I was just telling everybody that I did an interview with Alpha Tyler yesterday. It lasted 2.5 hours. It was a pretty good time. Anybody that hasn't seen it, they can go check it out. It's on my page under interviews in the playlists.
Nice, nice. Jay must have a train. He's muted again.
Sorry, I was muted for the train blowing its horn.
You don't say.
Huh?
You don't say.
Yeah. Apparently, I had my volume down too.
Man, it sounds like you're right next to that train.
I am literally. It's like 2 houses from the. I'm 2 houses from the railroad tracks.
Oh shit.
That's
And
why I
we have the
usually beep
snow
for
Mexican
trains.
with us.
Huh?
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 Hello.
It's the snow Mexican.
That's me.
What up, Jim?
Jim, did you ever record that verse for our collab?
Not recorded, but I'm almost done writing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Okay, now I can hear. Train's gone. By the way, Victoria, that's pretty cool. Aren't we a lively bunch?
Yeah, I'm just tired. It's 3 a.m.
It's only 2:11 to me.
Usually doesn't go this late for me.
Yeah, you usually get high and stack out pretty quick.
No, not really. Hey, Victoria, how are you doing tonight?
What up, Victoria? Wow, this is a very lively panel today.
Yeah.
Let's liven it up.
We got 8 viewers.
Hey, y'all do some cool shit today?
No.
No. Did you?
No.
Wow. And that's a panel for tonight. Good night, everybody.
We'll be here all week. Try the veal.
That's all, folks.
Oh no, I did actually do something cool today. I took down Psycho so I can tweak the mix on it, which I did, and I re-uploaded it.
Bro, that
Yeah,
song,
I got the notification during ATRL that you re-uploaded it.
dude, that song
Yep.
was fire. That song was fire as fuck. Like,
Oh, thank you.
that was a great song. And
Thank
now that you tweaked it a little bit, but it'll be even better. Like, honestly, I was impressed, dog.
Well, thank
Honestly,
you.
I was too when I heard it. I was impressed myself.
I appreciate that. I needed that.
I've been saying you've been getting better and better with your lyricism and your flows.
Well, no, I mean I really needed that today because I got beat up earlier in the ATRL chat earlier. I'm like, geez.
Well, like I said, Menace liked the message and the flow to a degree. He got tripped up when you were talking about the people comparing themselves to Elvis, Pac, and Eminem and all that, thinking that you
Yeah.
were trying to say it was about you. But then when I typed in the chat, no, that's about other artists. And he went back and realized what he was saying and revised. But his big thing is he pulled an Alpha Tyler rant about the mix and you needing to work on the mix and get other people to help mix you instead of just doing it yourself.
Yep. Same old thing he always says. No,
but to be fair, it's the same
it.
thing everybody's told you.
Ain't nobody pulling Alpha Tyler rants except Alpha Tyler, for the record.
Thank you. Yes, only Alpha Tyler can pull an Alpha Tyler rant. Only Alpha Tyler gives Alpha Tyler critiques.
I'm just saying it was the same kind of rant that Alpha has given with the same emotion.
Well, either way, we're kind of straying away from what I was talking about. I'm not talking about what Menace said. It's not about him. I was talking about the verbal beating I got over Higher Deluxe, which will be canceled, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Not going on the record, and the original video will be taken down. So, yeah, that's the end of that.
Because of Alyssa?
Yeah.
Because the other person on the song.
No, she kept beating me up over the mix. I kept telling her I'm gonna fix it when I get to it, but because she didn't have any chill and didn't know when to say when, I'm not doing it. I'm done with it. Kind of just sucked the fun out of the song for me, so I'm not working on it no more. It's done.
You grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not. And if I was, I have every right to be, because I'm tired.
I didn't say you didn't. I said you're grumpy.
Well, I'm not just grumpy. I'm just tired. I'm just tired being beaten up over that damn song when I said I was going to fix it.
Oh, That reminds me, we tabled a discussion in ATRL to bring back in here, and that's the would you do anything with Blair White sexually?
I don't even know who that is.
As I've said before, it's a gray area for most men, and that's my stance on it.
Would I, as I exist today, knowing who and what Blair White is? No. Now, if Blair White and I encountered one another
When you were single,
at a fucking club or something, and Blair White was like, "Hey, let me suck your dick," and we went into an alley and I pulled my pants down, like 1,000%. I would absolutely let someone who looked like Blair White at surface level suck my dick. Now, if it got into a point where we went to a hotel room or something to fuck, and Blair White pulled Blair White's pants down, and I saw that massive fucking dong hanging down, I'd be like, "Nah, I'm good, man."
I'm good, man.
I feel you on that one. Like I said, it's a gray area for most men because she's hot from the waist up.
No,
and I couldn't do anything from the waist down. No.
See, here's the
And I
thing.
feel so left out because I don't know who the fuck that is.
You know who Blair White is? It's the trans chick dude, however that shit works, that was in like Tom McDonald's video and shit like that. Like Tom McDonald's done some shit with Blair White. Tim Pool's done shit with Blair White. You have been exposed to Blair White as some.
No,
A lot of Nefarious' commentary shit. He'll pull her up occasionally to talk about her.
And no, I'm not familiar with the name because I never heard the name before.
No, that's what he's saying is you probably know her, you just don't know the name.
I don't think I even seen her or him or whatever the fuck it is.
Then do a quick Google search, see if you recognize them.
Yeah, you'd recognize Blair White, I promise.
She's been on Fox News too.
Yeah, I don't watch Fox News.
Think Tom is about to go after you know who in his next album drop? Wait.
And his new drop tomorrow.
Oh, is it going to be a Mac Lethal diss? I'm actually excited for that if it's a Mac Lethal diss. I want to hear because I want to hear Mac's part 2. Like,
that's what I'm getting at.
I was thinking about that the other day.
I was literally having that thought earlier today. I was like, damn, I wonder if Mac ever just dropped that part 2 just to be like, hey, fuck you. And I went to his page and sadly he did not. But I want to hear the part 2.
Yes, same here. I want to know the dirt. What does he have on Tom?
You can't dangle that carrot and expect me not to want it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's just cruel. You can't blue ball us like that.
I mean, technically, that's exactly what Church did when he dissed Tom McDonald. He dropped one, and then when Tom didn't respond, he dropped his second one.
And here's the thing. And I said it hit a point where that was boring, repetitive, and lame. And I stand by that. And that's the thing. I respect that Mac Lethal did not drop part 2. Like, that shows me that Mac Lethal was fully content for it never to go anywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like, if Tom wants to take it back somewhere, let me hear what Mac had. Like, I'm ready, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree. I concur, good sir.
Well, here's the thing. So I'll say this, Fireman. He did a similar thing with the no title tracks. The problem is with the no title tracks, it wasn't the same thing because he was insisting over and over. I didn't say their name. This is not a diss. What? When in No Title 4, when he said "me no sus," he specifically had a line saying "this is not a diss," and he didn't say Mises' name. So again, it wasn't a diss. So it was a similar thing. I get where you're coming from, but it was a similar thing. But it wasn't that.
Would that be considered a call out?
Huh?
Would that be considered a call out instead of a diss?
No, it was a passive aggressive diss track. That's what that was.
No, he was doing an extremely obvious sublime. I will say I have a theory about that last no title that dropped. Whatever the last one was it like 6 or something?
It was 5. 5, yeah.
So there's a point. I don't. No, never mind. I don't even want to say this because I don't want people to say I'm stirring shit with church. So I'm not going to say it. But I have a theory.
No, I have a feeling I know what the No Title 5 was about.
No,
That's why I put out my piece.
I'll say this. I have a theory. There's a line in that song that says to play this song slower speed, and I did. And when I did, I came to a realization that I'm not gonna share with any further. Like I said, I'm done. But if you didn't listen to that line or the Instagram post or whatever, then you haven't heard what I've heard. And like I said, I'm off Upchurch. I'm not trying to talk shit about Upchurch. I genuinely never had beef with Upchurch. My biggest beef with Upchurch is he decided to talk shit about me. Never reconciled that, and so like yeah, him and Adam are cool again, and that's cool, and I'm happy for him. But
all I know is that the swimming to your next coattail line was pretty suspect to me, and I had to respond to that shit.
I just want to see Tom and Mac just give it another go.
Fireman says the song "Everybody Needs Me" is Tom's drop tomorrow, and HBR said it just dropped on his topic channel.
If it doesn't say Mac Lethal diss in the title, I'm gonna be mad.
It's not smoke. It's not smoke and mirrors, Lone Wolves. It was actually a real thing that really happened. I get how people think that it's orchestrated, whatever, and they can think that. That's fine. It was actually a real thing that actually went down the way that it went down. Everything was real. And I'm glad that they squashed things. I really am, because I was just as loud as anybody else, consistently saying this is fucking dumb and there should not be this issue.
Right.
My issue with Ryan is completely absent of that. I am glad that they worked things out, because they should have. But again, Ryan said shit about me, and it's not like I'm just somebody watching around, whatever. Ryan has been to my channel. Ryan has donated to my channel. Like, Ryan knows who I am. And that shit's just corny, man.
Right.
My whole thing with him was when he came directly at me in my comments.
Yeah, and that was silly.
Right.
It was.
So it's like, I've said throughout the whole shit too, like, Ryan has music that I like. I'm not gonna pretend that I don't like it just because like there's beef or whatever, you know?
Right.
Yeah. You've been real consistent about that.
Yeah. I mean, in no universe will I ever be the guy who's like, oh, fuck Ryan, or oh no, Ryan and Adam need to keep beefing. No. I've not been that guy. I won't be that guy.
Right.
Does he know me personally? Does he know anyone personally, Hillbilly?
Not that he recollects.
Only if he's been to 3 or more bonfires with you in a week. I'm not talking shit. I'm just I'm content to just live and let live, but like it's gonna be real hard for me to ever want to like advocate in that dude's corner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I feel that.
I mean, it could easily be fixed if it came around to him saying, you know, I saw a lot of dumb things out of my ass.
Yeah.
And 100% that sentence would make me be like, yeah, I'm over it too.
Mm-hmm.
But he won't.
No.
Well, no, Lone Wolf's in the past, he has shown receipts. It just recently, within the last year or so, he stopped showing receipts.
Yeah, he used to. Recently, he hasn't shown receipts because he can't show receipts.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he got mad at me because, see, I was able to show the receipts of all the dumb shit he was doing and saying to me and to Tyler.
And then there's Fireman's comment that he's still super pissed about him hiding the car from the fans.
I feel that. Again, this is the ATRL after party, not the fuck up church after party. So
True.
I'm not gonna keep on that vibe, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. So what's up, guys?
Not much.
Not much.
ATRL went pretty late tonight, so I understand if this is a quick affair because honestly, I'm sleepy and I'm sure everybody else is too.
Yeah.
I'm not sleepy. I just don't have smokes.
I was telling the guys earlier before you jumped on that I fixed the audio on Psycho. I re-uploaded
I
it.
heard you. I was listening while I was pissing.
Also,
What do you think?
request to anybody that's watching the interviews, please leave comments. It helps the algorithm.
It does.
As I mentioned that, we had the interview yesterday that was fun.
What y'all have for dinner today?
Heather's comment seems a little bit more important than yours, Jiminator. Sorry.
Fair enough.
Damn, Jay. Wow.
Yes, Heather, we will be there, and you better be in the Discord too, please.
Get fucked, Bubba. Jay told you to get fucked.
Straight
And
up.
Lone
Bro.
Wolves, I do have a Cash App. I just don't advertise it because, well, it's one of those things I'm not begging for shit.
Man, Jay turning down donors. Man,
No, I'm not turning down donors.
yes, you are. This dude said he just would have sent you some money for smokes, but you refused.
He also said if he had it, Jiminator. You got to read the full comment.
Fuck, Jim. You getting
Damn,
shit on right now.
You fucked yourself right there on that one. I can't defend you on that one.
You just got ran.
Oh,
Real.
so you don't? Okay, never mind.
Wow.
I'm
Damn,
done talking for the night.
Huh?
Jimmy
Bubba,
makes
you
me
done fucked up.
guilty. Why? You,
I feel you, Lone Wolf.
Why would the economy be fucked? The economy is in fantastic shape. Haven't you listened to Kamala Harris speak?
Or anybody at the DNC?
Yeah. Economy's
No,
fantastic.
I'm trying to save my brain cells, if you don't mind.
Joe Biden had legendary leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Right. For all the wrong reasons.
I mean, I just find it funny that she's trying to convince everybody that being vice president, she couldn't do anything. She needs to be president to do something.
I know. I was telling I believe it was Dan last night on his live that a friend of mine, when I posted on Facebook talking about that, like she said she was gonna start, getting things done as soon as she's elected. It's like, hello, you're in the White House now. You're a vice president. You can do things now. You're supposed to be the border czar, which we all know how that worked out. And then one of my friends who supports the Democratic Party decided, well, she can't really do much as a VP. I'm like, okay, so basically what you're saying is the vice president position is the most useless position to run for. That's your argument.
All right.
Please make that make sense.
Scammers.
She's a piece of shit.
I also like how the pro-Hamas people are going after the Democrats now.
What?
The pro-Hamas people are going after the Democrats now, saying they don't do enough.
They don't do anything. Biden been giving Israel money, dog.
Oh yeah, I know. But
They
he's
don't do
been
shit.
funding both sides of that until recently.
Yes, Mandy, pro Hamas. The people who are pro Hamas.
Yeah, they weren't pro-Palestine. They were pro-Hamas protesters.
Well, even if they were pro-Palestine, we understand that Hamas is Palestine's government, right? We're all adults and
Oh
know
yes,
how
yes,
that works.
but it was the people protesting were holding pro-Hamas signs at the DNC.
Yeah. How about the pro-genocide? What are you talking about?
He still believes that Israel commits genocide against the Palestinians.
Sure, they do. That's why we shouldn't send them money either. What's the problem, though? Like,
We
Israel
shouldn't be
sucks.
involved in that war either way.
Israel sucks. Palestine sucks. Like, why are we funding both sides?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, why are we paying
That's
their
my
business any mind anyway? That's none of our business.
I understand that one. I also understand that Christians side with Israel because of it being the Holy Land and shit.
Yeah, I mean, they are, but they're also gonna directly bring about the Antichrist. So, I mean,
True. There's no real arguments there either.
huh?
I said there's no real arguments there either.
No, I mean, because that's what is prophesied to happen. Whether you are not, whether you like it or not, genocide is wrong. I agree, genocide is wrong.
We all agree genocide is wrong.
I think
Yeah.
everyone agrees. You notice how Palestine has this tiny little sliver of land, and it hasn't just been scorched earth. In that little sliver of land, nobody has just fucking killed every single person who lives there. So I think we can safely agree that genocide has not actually occurred. If we're being realistic.
Right.
So I mean, if we're playing pretend otherwise, it would literally probably take about 10 planes to commit genocide in Palestine. You could fucking carpet bomb that country in 5 minutes. So
or less, yeah.
Yeah, let's not pretend that genocide has been committed. 6 million Jews also took 6 years. Fair enough. I'm aware that Jews did not die in 1 year. You're implying that Israel has committed genocide. There are 6 million Palestinians dead. Like what are we equating here? Are 1 million Palestinians dead? I mean, we're talking about a people. If Hitler had the ability to kill every Jew at one time, he probably would have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about Israel. They absolutely have the capability of killing everybody in Palestine right now, and they haven't. So,
matter of fact, every time that they do a raid in Palestine, they give people the opportunity to get out of the way.
Yeah,
if they're civilians.
Only about 180, or do you mean 18,000? There are 180,000. Irrelevant either way. I mean, you're wrong. Objectively, you are wrong. I don't support abortions either, lone wolves. Don't worry. I'm sorry. I know that you're not comfortable being told that, Mandy. Objectively, looking at the facts, you are mistaken and you have a wrong stance equating the two.
Yep. I'm not.
And if you're American, you have that right to have a wrong stance. But
yeah, you have the right to have the wrong stance. But I'm telling you, you can't. You're trying to give me a feelings argument in the face of objective facts.
Yep. Me and my mom got into it about that like not too long ago, and I'm like, yeah, see, I can't have this discussion with you.
Amen, hillbilly.
Because apparently, if I had a girl, right, and she was pregnant with our kid, then if she's not ready to be a mom, then she should just go ahead and kill her kid. No say.
I gotta say this because you're saying 40,000 accounted, the rest is under the rubble. So we're assuming that under the rubble is 3/4 of the death toll, and that only 40,000 has been accounted for. Only 1/4 has been accounted for. The other 3/4, that's some. What are we basing this off of?
CNN.
Curious. No. I'm asking literally what are we basing this off of? Where are your numbers coming from? Please. And also, who told you that war doesn't have casualties, unintended or otherwise? I'm sorry. That's how shit goes. Now, I agree with Hillbilly at the end of the day, 100%, and that's where I started this conversation. I do not think we should be funding Israel in this endeavor. So,
don't let us run you off, Lone Wolf.
Looks like Canada's also shipping arms to Israel.
Shocker.
I mean, yeah.
Y'all can do whatever you want. I'm only worried about the U.S. I don't think the U.S. should be.
Right.
I'm trying to pay a little more attention to politics because I've been neglecting it pretty much my whole life, and so like just trying to
Good
keep
for you, Jim.
Shit.
Yeah.
I was harsh on you earlier, but good for you, Jim.
And that was the first thing that I said to Hillbilly's point again. Objective fact, it's not our problem. Exactly. We should not be sending money to either side of this shit. And somehow we're sending money to both sides.
Yep.
We fund Israel since 1948. Yeah, I know. And I said I don't agree with that. So again, we've established I don't agree with that. Now, there's a certain extent to which we are responsible for Israel because we agreed to that when we signed them into statehood. As far as funding conflicts like this and shit, we shouldn't be doing that.
True.
Guess why they win? I mean, they won the fucking 6 days war against all their border countries with our hand-me-down equipment. So why do they win? Because they're fucking good. Like at the end of the day, come on now.
I mean, that's the same thing with Ukraine. We're giving them hand-me-down equipment and never running ram shot on Russia.
Fuck Ukraine. Did y'all see that they actually fucking invaded Russia now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're running ram shot on them.
These fucking dumbasses. Like
They fucking deserve whatever they get at this point.
they deserve to get fucking nuked.
Oh yeah.
Because America funds them. Okay, are you mad because we're sending money to a country? Are you mad because Palestinians are dying? What part are you mad about so that I know what to argue against? I don't believe in sending money to any other fucking country. If you want to talk my stances, I agree. We should not be funding any other country. You also support Harris and Walls, though? You think that that's the best thing in America since sliced bread? When those motherfuckers want to keep sending Israel money. So what do you want me to argue against? Because I don't like paying other countries money.
Nope. Fuck that.
That's the whole reason that a lot of people are on the Trump train is because he wants to stop sending foreign countries money, stop funding wars, and everything else.
Maybe you should support America, Mandy, because he doesn't want to send other countries money. So, But y'all don't know that because y'all get some bullshit socialist spewed shit. Yeah. Mad that your country supports them too. Good. I'm mad that my country supports them. My country should pay for my country.
Yep.
Facts.
Is of the sweet land of liberty.
You should absolutely be mad about your country supporting them as well.
Yes.
I support you and agree on that. But the thing is that you find issue with my stance on things. And I don't understand where it comes from because my stance on things is that we shouldn't be doing that as well.
Mm.
When we have the problems we do here, like 22 veterans a day taking their lives, or the veterans that are homeless, we don't need to be sending. Absolutely, Hillbilly.
Amen, Hillbilly.
Sorry, I've been really good about this lately. Let me stop saying Hillbilly. Fucking
HBR.
No,
well, HBR stands for.
It's HRB.
It's Hillbilly Reacts.
Yeah,
it's
Hillbilly
HRB.
Reacts.
It's HRB.
HRB. I remember. Yeah, I know.
It's HRB.
Hey,
Savannah.
I also can't support Harris and Walls for many, many reasons. Like Harris is already in office; she could have had something done. And then,
have you noticed how many of Trump's policies she's trying to say? Day one, I will attack inflation. What the fuck have you done the last
she's
3
co-opting
years?
a lot of his shit.
You are currently the vice president, bitch. What have you been doing?
Not to mention you got Walls that is claiming that he went to war and never did.
Yeah, I need to say this, Mandy. No, you are wrong. Okay, again, you're saying it's pro-Palestine, not pro-Hamas. What Jay was talking about were pro-Hamas protesters. Okay, understand? We know what the difference is. These were specifically pro-Hamas. You understand?
Not to mention the problem I have with any protesters is when they start vandalizing and doing criminal activities disguised as protesters. Which tends to happen a lot nowadays.
You can literally, I want to throw this out real quick. You can literally Google pro-Hamas protesters and find several news stories right now. Crowds of Hamas protesters outside DNC. Newsweek, top answer. Newsweek silences no answer to the pro-Hamas protesters outside the DNC. Like literally, is Newsweek biased or ill-refuted news organization? I don't believe so. I think that they're one that pretty much everybody on both sides will agree has some amount of legitimacy. Yes. Mm-hmm. However, right here, hold on. Where is, here we go. Share my screen real quick so that I can show this shit so that it actually fucking exists in this stream while we're having this conversation about the context and everything. Throw it up. Silence is no answer to the who? Pro-Hamas protesters. And where are they? Outside the DNC. Holy shit. We're not talking about pro-Palestinian protesters. We're talking about pro-Hamas protesters. Okay? Do we understand?
And Mandy, I'll be clear. I'm talking about anybody that does criminal activity in America disguised as a protester is a criminal.
No, it doesn't fucking matter because if they're pro-Hamas, they're also pro-genocide. Nice try, fuck off.
True. That's true also. I won't say the fuck off part, but it's true also.
Like, this shit is retarded. I get it. You want to defend something that you think is a good idea or whatever. No, it's fucking dumb. It's wrong. It's evil. And you're on the side of evil. If you want to just admit that, save us all a lot of time, say that you're evil, I'll say, okay, I don't like evil. So, but if you're not, if you're going to try to defend this like you are a logical human being, which I've always considered you to be, and then say illogical things, I'm going to point out where you're being wrong.
And that's true. Alpha does point out where people are wrong, and if you're wrong, you admit to it, and otherwise,
I don't
not.
like evil. That's why I don't like Zionists. But you do like evil, which is why you like Hamas, right? Like, oh, get the fuck out of here! It's so you literally sound retarded right now. I'll be right back. Oh, fuck
well,
it.
She said not anything against Jews.
Not anything against Jews, right? So what is a Zionist? Define a Zionist for me.
I'm just opting not to argue with a fool because it only proves that there's two.
I want to know what a Zionist is. By your definition, you don't like Zionists. What is a Zionist? I'm going to tell you if you really look into it, it's somebody that's looking. No, I'm asking you what a Zionist is. I do know full well what a Zionist is.
What is your opinion or your idea of a Zionist?
What's your definition of a Zionist?
Conversation. I'm not the one who tried to bring Zionists into the conversation. So no, that's not how this works. If you want to introduce the term, you get to define the term
and defend it.
I want to know what her idea of a Zionist is, because I'm betting it's probably not the right one.
Mm-hmm.
What are you laughing at, Jim? You want some of the smoke too? I came
no.
I came in ready.
Hey, no,
Jim was laughing because somebody else is getting fucked right now, and it's not him.
no, it's not even that. I was just recalling a
Liar.
conversation I had with someone at work.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it was an old dude and his wife that came in, and he comes up to where I work. He's like, started a conversation like, I went down to the States last month. It's like everybody was carrying their handguns on the side of their hip or whatever. It's like I felt very unsafe.
So there was this old man and his wife.
No,
Oh, you must have heard that one before, not haven't you?
I had a gun debate with someone at work a few weeks ago, and it was by far the most enjoyable thing I've had in a long time.
Again, guns don't kill people. It's mostly the bullets. It's always been my
I
stance.
told him something along the lines of that. And
Zionism, Jewish national movement with the goal of
Was
creation
hilarious.
and support of a Jewish national state. In Palestine? Are you fucking kidding me?
She Googled it.
Oh, that's so dumb. Where does that? I'm curious. What Google box gave you that answer? What website does that definition come from? You had to dig a little bit to find that. It's that inclusion right there of support a Jewish national state in Palestine. It says in Palestine, comma. So it attributes that all of Israel belongs to Palestine, which is ridiculous. But then it even says, comma, the ancient homeland of the Jews. So it supports the Jews having a state in their original homeland, which is crazy. But okay.
And then the Hebrew text also, which is Jewish.
So we support. So a Zionist would be someone who supports the Jews having a state in their ancient homeland. So tell me why that's wrong, I guess, would be my first question. Second, how deep did you have to dig to find one that said in Palestine? That's fucking dumb. Do you like you can define what Palestine means and see why that's stupid? I've got a series of unbiased definitions ready at any point if you want them for Zionist or Palestine or any of that shit. I'm just humoring your definitions at this point.
This is fun.
Lone Wolf says he's getting riled up in here.
It's goofy. It's this whole shit is goofy. Like literally, your definition. It's saying support a Jewish national state in Palestine, comma the ancient homeland of the Jews. Oh shit. What kind of mental gymnastics does it even take to read that and agree that that makes sense?
I have no clue.
It's actually the first definition I came across. That's interesting. So I Googled Zionist. Well, you know what? I'll just share my screen again, Jay. Let me see.
Yeah, as soon as it popped up.
Yeah. So I actually Googled it as well. You can see this is a fresh Google page just to see what you would see come up. And this is actually what Google looks like. So Zionist, it automatically starts giving you translations for Zionism based on historical ties and religious traditions linking the Jewish people to the land of Israel. Zionism does not have a uniform ideology, but modern political Zionism is typically associated with labor Zionism and revisionist Zionism, which are not fundamentally different. Zionism is an ethno-cultural national movement that emerged in Europe in the late 19th century, aimed for the establishment of a Jewish state through the colonization of land outside of Europe. Some who belong to or supports the political movement that had its original aim at the creation of a country for Jewish people and now support the state of Israel. Established national home for the Jewish people secured by public law. Listen, we did that shit back in 1948, okay? Like, the Jews have a fucking state. So you can't be a Zionist technically by any of those definitions anymore. The state already exists. It's been given. The Palestinians were given a fucking landmass. And if you actually look at what a Palestinian are, they don't have a traditional claim to that land. They're nomadic people who settled in an area. Like, this conversation is ridiculous. Yes, nobody is arguing that the Jews traditionally lived in Israel, the land that is called Israel. Even the definition that you gave says that that is the ancient home of the Jews. It just calls it Palestine for whatever dumb fuck reason. It doesn't matter. Palestinians can claim they've been given a piece of land and whatever. They can claim they want more. They can all of this comes down to Jerusalem. Okay, if you actually understand the history of the region, the history of the Crusades, the history that actually sparked all the issues that we're dealing with today, it all comes back to Jerusalem. Palestinians want control of Jerusalem because they are Muslim, and it's a holy site for them. The Jews want control of Jerusalem because the Temple on the Mount is a fucking holy site for them. At the end of the day, it all comes back to the Temple on the Mount.
Later, Lone Wolves.
And by displaying, I also showed those were actually the first several definitions that I had for Zionist, and that was with a Google search. So I think we can all agree that I did not bias or nitpick what choice I wanted to show you.
Just a quick question. What years were the Crusades again?
Dark Ages.
So
Are we talking like before Christ or after?
No. Well, after Christ, it was Crusades. It was Christian armies versus Muslim armies. It's way too late in the knot. So here's the thing: the Crusades actually spanned over a pretty good fucking period of time. It all comes back to religion. No, it doesn't. It comes back to people being dumb and shitty people.
This is true.
So the Crusades, a lot of people, the actual time period that encompassed the Crusades is really debatable. It would have been around the second millennium, I guess, because we're in the third millennium now. So it would have been right around like the year 1000 to right around the year, for about 2-3 centuries, depending on it. Really depends. Like, that's the problem. So Crusades history, when you study Crusades history, it's more about the stuff that led up to the Holy Wars and the crusading armies. There was never a formal declaration that this is the Crusades, because it wasn't consolidated armies against consolidated armies. The closest that the Crusades gets to consolidated armies is that the Muslim caliphs had actual armies, because they were Muslim states with Muslim kings who had armies. Most of the crusading Christian armies were especially early on, actually really early on, crusading Christian armies would have been pilgrims who were trying to go to Jerusalem just to visit the Holy Land. As the Crusades continued on, it would have been like a king would commission an army to take on a crusade to Jerusalem to try and take control. And so that's where you get into the more formal era of the Crusades. It went it started, I would say, if I were to give you a time frame, I would say from roughly the year 1000 to roughly the year 1300, because it lasted about 300 years and started around 1000 AD.
Okay. So you remember when you and Bite, I think it was you and Bite, you were doing the history lessons of like Jerusalem, and do you remember that? You guys did a couple.
That was Wiki did it with.
Yeah,
they were doing the Christian religion history.
Like, you should absolutely do more of like history, like about that stuff. Like, you should do episodes and talk about it and like go in depth. That's something.
The Crusades is specifically what my degree was in. That was what I actually wrote my thesis in. And the funny thing is, I actually have like a ton of like firsthand letters from like Crusaders, like in books and stuff bound downstairs. So that's That is something that I enjoy talking about. It's just not something that there's usually like a huge interest in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of, so if you guys watched the interview I did with Jay yesterday, that's kind of one of the things that I was talking about yesterday, is kind of wanting to shift my content to more stuff like that, like stuff that I actually inherently want to do based on things that I enjoy and stuff. And so that, I mean, maybe that'll be one of them. I don't know.
So
So-
the age of the Vikings, that was like 800 to about 1000 BC, right?
Completely different time.
No,
period,
I know, but like I'm just saying, like the Vikings came before
Yeah.
the Crusades. Yeah,
It would have been before, during, and after. I mean, that's the thing. Like it's completely separate. Like it was not connected to that really.
no, yeah, like I'm just saying, like I'm trying to get the dates right. Like,
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Well,
yes.
and then
Yes.
before the Vikings, it was oh shit, I'm getting it wrong. No, Caesar.
Bro, you are
The fall of
jumping.
Rome.
You are jumping civilizations every time you pop a new one. Listen, the Vikings were Norwegian, okay?
I know.
The Crusades was around Jerusalem. The fucking Romans were in Rome, which is modern day Italy. Like this is all kind of separated. These are all different topics.
So I know they're separate topics. I'm just trying to get like a date of time, like history wise.
Even Mandy getting ruthless with Jim.
about the time frame that you're looking for is to say that the Greece would have dissolved around the same period as the Crusades were going on. Rome stayed strong throughout the Crusades. If that's what you're asking, like which other civilizations existed at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But they were still very separate civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, Rome may have ended before the Crusades as well, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I do think they did.
Well,
The Roman Empire, I believe, did end before the Crusades happened.
I don't know if there's like an actual date that's like confirmed, but like what years was like the Christ, like when Jesus Christ was alive?
0.
So that was before. Okay.
We have AD and BC for.
So BC is before Christ. AD is Anno Domini, which is Latin for in the year of our Lord. So before Christ was before he was born. He was born. It was born roughly. I mean, it's not like exact, but he was born roughly in the year 0. Well, not the year 0. He was born roughly in that divide. Because obviously there was no year 0. There was a year -1 BC, and then there was 1 BC. So he would have roughly lived from the year 1 until the year 30.
Yeah.
But there's no exact timeline there.
So I'm gonna do like some research on the topic later. What made them want to? I mean, like I don't even know if it's like did they start counting years after Christ was born? Like, is that when it like started? Or like, how do people know?
No, the Gregorian calendar came a long time after. Well, not a long time, but it came after Christ. Like Gregorian calendar, which we use, is after. Like it was established after. It just uses the birth of Christ as the counting point, which is why it's not 100% accurate. If you go to the Hebrew calendar, in which it is year 5,000 and something, the Hebrew calendar tries to count from the beginning of creation. There are several different calendars in existence in the world. The Gregorian calendar, which we use, would have been created later on by Rome, and that was it uses that distinction, that period, that time as the solidifying before and after Christ. Because again, if you look at the influence that the Holy Roman the influence that the Catholic Church had in the Holy Roman Empire, that really shifted a lot of perspectives on everything. And so,
Okay, well,
Right.
here's a question for Jay. Like, well, I don't even know if you'll know the answer, but like,
Mm-hmm.
well, since you're Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
how did the Catholic Church become it's like what it is?
What are you asking?
So was the Catholic Church a thing when Jesus was alive?
No.
no,
No. So I'm asking, how did it start?
allegedly from Peter.
Right.
The disciple?
Yes.
Yes.
Because Jesus told Peter, "You are the rock of my church."
So Catholics firmly believe that Peter was the first pope.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Ordained by Christ himself.
I
There
had
is a-
never heard of that ever.
There is a lineage. If you go in and actually look at the lineage of the Pope, it starts with Peter. Now, whether that's true or not is very debatable, but that is the Catholic view.
Also, the Catholic Church has also been the most persecuted religion of
Well,
of almost all time.
for good reason.
Do you guys?
I mean, there's been corruption, yes, but I mean, they
So-
were persecuted during the
They
Roman
ran
times.
a fucking empire and used it to feed corruption into their church. I would say that they deserve a little bit of scrutiny, sir.
Yes, but I'm talking about before all of that, when Christians were thrown to lions by the Romans, and other people persecuting, killing, and maiming
Well, yeah.
Christians just for being Christian.
Yeah, because it was heresy.
No, I'm talking about people that have killed Christians just because they're Christians.
Yeah, because it was heresy.
Are you guys?
I get what you're saying now. I was confused for a moment. Heresy to them, yes.
Are you guys familiar with the book Martyr's Mirror?
No.
No.
So it might. I'm not even sure now. Okay, never mind. Because I'll go a little bit into it. So there's a book that we always found super interesting. So it's about like the stories of like the disciples after like Christ was gone,
Mm-hmm.
and it's what is believed to what has been what happened to them in the years following. And so is there any other like books of knowledge or like something like that goes into something?
There is a big one. It's called the Bible.
But the Bible doesn't go into what
Yes.
happened to the disciples.
Yes, it does. When you delve deeper into it, there are stories of what the apostles went through after Christ had died.
The 13th apostle.
Rufus.
Yes. I swear, every time I hear that word, I'm going to make that joke.
It's funny. I was looking through like super chat history the other day on my YouTube channel, and I saw some old ones from Doc, and I was like,
So I looked a little bit into it. So the Martyr's Mirror was originally made in 1660.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
You guys have never heard of it?
Nope.
No.
I actually think that's a good point, Savannah.
It's a very, very
Also,
it's not an easy book to read.
I would argue that God won't be coming back. Jesus will. And I think it's very important to understand the distinction between the two.
Sure.
But no, you're absolutely right. He will be picking people who follow Christ, not Catholics, Baptists, or so on. Denominations are the dumbest thing that we have ever used to divide ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I also agree with that. I mean,
same.
Murder is murder. Anyone who is murdering without without coming to repentance after is
X.
I think that you can absolutely have an abortion and find salvation, but I don't feel like a lot of people look at it that way.
No.
Imagine that the Muslim God would be the real one. Y'all would be so fucked. Well, good news. The Muslims believe in the same God that I do. It's that Jesus part that they got confused. So
It's the same thing with the Jews.
Oh, Mandy.
They all believe in the same God. They just differ on whether or not Jesus was the Son of God or just a prophet or just not existent.
yeah.
I'm just laughing whenever she puts stuff like this out there, dude. It's just, I'm sorry, it's embarrassing.
Honestly, I think that she actually is fascinated by religion.
Yeah.
Because she does ask a lot of.
Mandy's
good
absolutely for a long time been interested in a lot of these things. The problem is Mandy just won't let herself consider a different opinion.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't worship in the right way. Well, the Quran says that Christians and Jews are sons of the book as well. Christians and Jews are talibs, which means children of the book, and so they should be respected and loved as such. It's the twisted stuff that corrupt imams who train suicide bombers say that leads to the other stuff, but actually the Quran says that I'm good as well.
And then Mandy admitted she's fascinated by religion.
I don't think any of us are doubting that.
Level of intolerance. All right, so that's why I always try to be tolerant. Like,
Right.
I will say, I know that I've had a bit of a mocking tone tonight, but I mean, some of this stuff is just easy, and I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
And like the thing is, we've been here so many times. Like,
yeah,
I know that you don't like my religion specifically because it says Christianity at the top, but yeah, and see, there's comments like that. I really wouldn't want to be in heaven anyway. Okay, like that's silly. I mean, if one hand you have paradise and the other hand you have damnation, and you would choose damnation, then I don't know what else to tell you. As far as when it comes down to like intolerance, I'm not trying to be intolerant of anybody else's belief. I always try to be respectful of other people's beliefs.
Yeah, facts.
That said, like when it hits a point where I know that you're not going to be respectful of mine or even make an effort to understand my beliefs, and you're going to make the conversation a constant battle of saying that mine is wrong and evil. Like, again, I don't do that to anybody about their beliefs.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And why and how people believe, but I've explained to you many times why and how I believe what I believe, and my explanation is never sufficient. So I don't believe that.
And me and Alpha differ on certain beliefs as well. However, we just agree to disagree and move on. We don't keep bringing it up and talking about it.
We do where it is. We do where it's a debatable thing. Now, I will say I do not agree to disagree with anybody who says that they have a Christian belief and sought something that is disproven by the Bible. Those are the times, because I know what the follow-up to that is, but you guys argue too. And yes, I will tell you that I think that you're wrong if biblically you are not correct. Like,
right.
if there's something in the Bible that says that you are wrong, I will tell you. I won't agree to disagree. I will say that you are wrong, and we can walk away. Yeah, I guess technically we can walk away agreeing to disagree, but
right.
I will stand on if biblically what you're saying is indefensible, then 100%, that is where I'm going to leave the conversation.
Right. And what I'm referring to is like what Savannah said, that hell is pain and suffering. And I actually don't believe in that. I believe hell is more of an absence of the divine more than pain and suffering.
Absolutely, which would be pain and suffering. See, that's the thing, though. The absence of the divine, that is what hell is. The Bible tells us that hell is a severance from God. It is a complete absence of God. You are cut from
Yep.
God.
Mhm.
You mind if I pull something up really quick?
No, go ahead.
But as you were saying,
But that's not a difference necessarily. That's just that. I mean, that is the biblical definition. Now,
Yep. So, what will be the fate of the ungodly? They shall be punished with everlasting banishment from the presence of the Lord and from the glory of his power. That's what the.
Yeah.
They actually, yeah.
yeah, there's no disagreement in that. I'm just saying basically the definition is different in my eyes than in yours, Alpha, and that when you die, I don't see there
When have I ever-
being any more pain because you don't have the physical synapses firing. So it's more of an absence of divine, a void that you go to that, you have no anything except your own thoughts.
I feel like what you're telling me right now is that you have created a disagreement that we've had, because I've said many, many times that there is no biblical description of hell.
No, this is true. I remember that, and I agree.
Don't disrespect your beliefs. No, you do. It's not that you point out what is evil. It's that you will change the goalpost 50 times until I'm tired of having the conversation, and then tell me that I'm wrong.
Yep.
You're
We've
not
all witnessed that.
you're not genuinely asking why and how, when you argue with me to a point that I just don't want to argue the point anymore. Because we've had several of these conversations where you say, oh, the Bible says this that it doesn't say. And then we have that conversation, then you change it to, well, why is this then? And then I entertain that, and we'll go down several steps of a rabbit hole. And then ultimately you're not content with what my belief is. You're content with telling me at the end of the day that, well, if that God, even if that God is real, then I don't want to go to his heaven. Like, and that's not a discussion about beliefs. That is you already knowing at the beginning of the conversation that you don't like God, which is your right to feel that way, but you're not being open-minded to the other side of the conversation.
Right.
If I think that's disrespectful, that's on me. I don't feel disrespected, because I genuinely just turn that to a point where I pray for you that you see otherwise. And then for you, you get mad that I would pray for you. Again,
Right.
this is a thing that is,
Been an
It's a
ongoing.
constant cycle that we've all witnessed.
Yeah, and I've made I've never tried to force you to convert to Christianity or accept Christianity. I've never initiated a conversation about Christianity with you. Judge not lest you be judged. Yep. Because that's disrespectful to me. What are you talking about? What is disrespectful to you?
Praying for her when she asks not to.
That's not. I mean, it's just like saying,
bless you when somebody sneezes.
Yeah, or well, more specifically, if somebody's mad at you and you're at a point of cutting ties with them, and you just say, well, I wish you well. And they say, don't wish me well. That's disrespectful to me because I don't want you to wish me well. Okay, well, I still do. Like,
Right.
you can't just tell me not to. I pray for everyone. It doesn't matter. Like, I pray for you. You can see that as disrespectful if you choose. That's a block that you have. That's not a block that I have. I'm not going to change my identity as a human just because you don't like it.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, prayer and a relation with God is a personal interaction. So him praying for you is just him and between him and God.
Yeah, it has no impact on you. The only reason you even know it happens is because many times you have felt compelled to tell me not to pray for you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, have a good night. I'm gonna
Have
go.
a good one, Jim.
Have a good night, Jim.
There, Jim.
I'm gonna have to cut it off too because it's right around. Yeah, it's like 4:15.
Yeah, we've been live for about an hour.
But no, as far as these conversations go, I mean, again, yeah, same Savannah. Oh, I don't have grandbabies, but I mean, yeah, I pray for anyone I know who is struggling, who is in a bad place in their life. I mean, because that honestly, whether you believe in my faith or not, that by my faith is the strongest thing that I could do for you.
Mm-hmm.
It would be diminishing to me as a human. It would be ignoring something, a tool in my arsenal, or the best means that I know to help you if I did not pray for you. And I'm not sorry about praying for somebody who doesn't want to be prayed for. There was a point where anyone who knows Jesus did not want to be prayed for, did not know the power of prayer, what happens, or what have you. I mean, and that's fine. And I truly do pray that people come to find that power.
And I also always accept prayers from everyone because I need all the help I can get.
Same here. I appreciate all prayers that I get.
And Mandy, that's the beauty of prayer. Is if you're struggling and people pray for you, they pray that you stop struggling and that you can be the best version of yourself that you can be.
Yeah, I don't see any way that you twist a prayer for you into a bad thing, and that's what I'm saying. That's why. That's honestly when you say that, that's why I don't respect that. I won't not pray for you. Like I will pray for you.
We all want to see the best for you. That's why prayers happen.
Prayer is done out of love.
And if that's a deal breaker in our relationship or something that you think is just egregious and across the line, then I truly hate that for you. But that's not going to change my stance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing with religion in general is it gives you faith in something greater than yourself to ask for help when you struggle with, so that you can go ahead and feel that you have had some kind of higher power intervene to help you in your struggles.
Yeah.
And by the way, before
feel
y'all
that,
leave, I want
Savannah.
to apologize if I have been slipping on reactions and everything else.
We can talk about that some other stuff. It's not.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's not that.
I'm just saying I wanted to apologize for it. I've thought about it.
And well, Jay, since you brought it up, I do want to say that I do appreciate you requesting my song on Menaces Live. I mean, really, that means a lot to me.
Not a problem. That's kind of funny, Heather. You thought
Just now looking at the video, I thought Jay's favorite beaner said Jay's favorite beaver. Tearing that shit up. I wish she did too.
And remember, there's a lot of different forms of religion out there for you to find something that resonates with you and that you can believe in. You don't have to believe in the same
I'm
thing
gonna
everybody
leave
else
before
does.
Jay forces me to argue with a fancy NOS friendly statement that he's trying to make that I completely disagree with. Y'all have a good night.
Later,
Have
bro.
a good one, Alpha. And there we go, agreeing to disagree.
Jay. He's gonna come back up here and argue with you some more.
No. I don't want to keep him from his sleep. I'm just too nice of a person, is all it is. I've been told that all my life.
Yeah. And I think that's part of my problem too. I've been too nice lately.
People in my yearbook signed, "You're a great person, never change," and I feel I haven't. I've always been this way, and I always will be. And yes, Heather, me and JJV do play nice every now and then.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more times, people end up in their feelings or feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
Yes, Alpha, most likely to give his murderer a pep talk. That is true. I also have on my channel a prayer that I put out for anybody struggling. So if anybody feels the need, you can go look it up on my channel. We've always been friends for the longest time. Started out not as friends, but we became friends.
Uh-huh.
And being friends means telling each other things they don't want to hear sometimes. Which JJV does with me a lot. I can admit that. Yeah, like when you call me out for not promoting enough.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
When I defend people's opinions that you don't agree with.
Right.
Like Jiminator.
And understand when I was telling you that, I wasn't saying to exclude anybody. I was just saying, like,
No, I
especially
know.
include the Thursday night family.
I know, and I've been trying to. That's a big reason why I got Alpha Tyler on for an interview. Why I put Tech up for an interview, but he wanted me to schedule it later. Why I've interviewed Namson.
Mm-hmm.
Because that same thing got mentioned months ago whenever I was doing my interviews, and I didn't have a whole lot of the Thursday Night Records people interviewed. So I've been trying to make a more conscious effort in that.
Yep.
The reactions, I typically react to what gets dropped when it gets dropped or send them out. And there's been a long period of time where people haven't dropped anything from Thursday night. And that's why, I end up focusing on other people more.
Yeah, it was why I was hoping that you would do a re-interview with me sooner rather than later because, I just dropped an album which is very personal. It's dedicated to a dead relative of mine, and I wanted to break it down.
All right. Welcome back, Alpha. I did not want you to come back. I wanted you to go to sleep, but okay.
Oh, I came back. I didn't come back for this fuck shit y'all are talking about. I came back because we left without a cilantro. So.
Oh, okay. So cilantro.
Y'all just I'll get into something to get it over with.
Now you know what? Go fuck yourself because I'll get into something really personal there, dude. So that was just wrong. That
I
was
was
the
listening. I didn't mean to interrupt what I did, but I'm at the whim of when Jay pulled me on the stream. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah,
Right.
have a good one. But as you were saying,
Huh?
You were saying that he interrupted.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk about this album that I dropped that I dedicated again to a dead relative of mine because it's a
Right.
personal album. It was about all the shit that I was dealing with the previous year, and that's why I wanted to do a breakdown and talk about it.
Well, one, I have a problem with Restream not wanting to allow me to schedule something, so I've been having to use StreamYards. Everybody knows the audio quality sucks on StreamYards.
Right.
So,
But I mean, StreamYards is better than nothing, though. I mean, I can work with StreamYards. I'm
okay.
not too worried about that.
If you're down, how about Saturday afternoon,
It
evening
would,
time?
it would have to be a day I'm not working. I'm free on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Okay, then we'll do it. We'll schedule it for Monday then.
All right. I'm down for that.
This Monday, what time is good for you?
Let's see. We'll say
Give
around
it
2
to me your
o'clock
time.
my time, which will be 4 o'clock your time.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. All right on. And also, as a quick update, yes, I did take that video I said I was going to take down earlier of a specific song that Alyssa and I are working on. But I just want to say that despite the BS, I have nothing personal against her. It's just
Right.
I'm just not tolerating disrespect from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I feel you.
that's the thing, and especially when you go out of your way to make me feel less than too. I mean, I'm not tolerating that. So
And Mandy, hold on a second, Jason. I just have to say, and Mandy, to your point there, nothing in life that's worth a damn, or even in death, is easy. So that's the thing that I tell everybody. Struggles in life just means that when you die, there'll be a better life for you in the afterlife, whatever you believe in there. And if you don't believe in an afterlife, then you won't have to have pain and suffering when you pass. But we wish for you all the best and want you to be the best version of yourself and hope that there is a heaven that we will see you again in. Sorry, Jason. I just had to throw that out there for what Mandy had said. I had read.
no, it's cool. I mean, I just want to say real quick again, just that like I said, me and Alyssa, we can still be homies and everything, but as far as music endeavors go, I don't think we can do that going forward.
Right. And there's people that you can work with and can't, so
Yeah,
it's always best to acknowledge whether you can work with somebody or not and leave it at that and keep it a friendship instead of, a business relation.
yeah.
But the other thing about me that everybody has to understand also is that I'm dealing with a lot of personal issues,
Same here.
especially my foot from almost a year ago
Yeah,
and all that I've gone through. So that's another reason why I'm the way I am.
yeah. Yeah, another thing is too, and I mean, as far as like personal stuff's concerned, I mean, I've let it, be public, so and I'm not gonna shy away from it. But I was dealing with a betrayal from someone who started out as a close friend, who supposedly was exploring a possibility of having a real relationship. That didn't work out. She ended up, hooking up with somebody else. I hope that no matter what, everything works out between her and that guy. I don't hold any animosity towards anybody. It's just, it is what it is. I'm just moving on with my life, and I'm trying to, just get my shit together, focus on me, and focus on my stuff.
Right. And
So
coming
if I'm gonna,
from, go ahead.
No, I just want to say real quick. So if I'm getting short with you, don't take it personal. Just understand I'm just dealing with a lot right now, and I'm working on some things.
Right. Breakups and all that are always bad, especially when there's a betrayal of trust. But the other thing is, through my many years of experience, it happens. You just can't focus on the negative and move past it
Right,
and focus on the
right,
positive.
right. No, it's
And that's
just
and that's all I try to
shit.
be, is that light of positivity in everybody's dark days.
Right. No, and then it's not just the personal stuff too, but it's the professional stuff too. Like people spreading rumors on the internet about me and stuff like that, and it's just a lot. I'm dealing with a lot
Right.
right now, and what happened earlier on ATRL, that to me that was like the final straw, and I had to like just you know let that out.
Well, introspection and prayer always helps when you go through something like that. But
Yeah.
also, it also goes to show everybody's dealing with something in their real lives. We should use the internet as our break from the negative and just
Right.
try to be positive and helpful with everybody else
Right. I
and
just felt like I
understand.
was being dogpiled on, and
Right.
I hate that feeling because then it's like, and because like I said, it I know I have some anger in me, but then it's like, but like I said, man, it's like, it's just the stuff I've been dealing with the past few years lead up to this point. It's like, you know,
Right.
I always say to people, if you're in my shoes and dealing with all the shit that I'm dealing with, you would understand.
Right. And like I said, with my age, I've been there. I do understand. So that's why I didn't dogpile on you back then, because I knew what you're going through and everything. Not to mention, like I said, I have my own issues that I deal with and everything else.
Right.
And also, she kind of annoys me at times too, mainly because she tries so hard to be what everybody else talks about wanting or going through or anything else. She can
Mm,
never just go, "Oh, well, that sucks. I'm sorry for you," and let it be at that. It's always
yeah.
a competition of some kind. I've got this, I've got that, or I've done this and I've done that, and
Yeah.
it's the youth and trying to fit in, and I understand that, but sometimes it gets to me, and I lash out.
Yeah. So yeah, I just can't wait to get this new album done. That's what I'm looking forward to right now the most.
Understood, Heather, and it's actually a good thing to do occasionally, is for people to unplug and not be so worried about what's going on the internet. And I try to do that myself sometimes. It's like, I'll go and play games on my phone. I'll sit and hang out with my folks for a little while and everything else before I go and get online again and start watching videos or being in live streams or what have you.
Mm,
And that goes with you also, Mandy. It's always good to take those mental health breaks from the internet,
right,
not
but
to
I want
worry
people to
about
come
so
on
much.
idea that it's not just the stuff on the internet I'm dealing with. There's personal stuff I'm dealing with too. So it's like no
Right.
matter what I do, get off the internet or be on the internet, it's like I can't escape from shit that I'm dealing with.
Well, the way to escape that is to throw yourself into something where you don't have to think about, the negatives. Distract your mind from the negatives.
Well, yeah, and see, in order for me to do that, I got to work on my reactions and I got to work on my music. Which don't get me wrong, I am doing that, and I do enjoy doing that.
Speaking of which, AJB, Namson has a competition going on. You should go and react to his song "Fight" off of his website.
Yeah, I should do that.
Like I said, there's all sorts of ways to distract your mind.
Yeah.
Like I said, throwing yourself into your work, into your music, into your reactions, and just trying to focus and steer away from the negative and focus on more of the positive aspects. Oh yeah, definitely, Heather. That's what I was trying to say too. Is definitely sometimes you need to take a break from the internet, and sometimes you can use the internet as an escape.
Mm.
And this is true, Mindy, but you can escape it for a moment and let it not be. Let your worries not be an issue for a moment in time. Some people like when they have families, they go and you know go to the bathroom and read a book, or they go and take a hot bath and just like shut themselves away from everybody for a few moments. It's taking those moments in time for your own mental health. Doesn't
Yeah.
have to be a long time. It just has to be a moment in time for you to take a mental health break.
Hmm. But like I said, even when I jump off the internet, I'm still dealing with bullshit because I got people right there in the same household as me
No, trust me,
telling
I
me,
feel you on that one.
no, constantly picking on me, telling me, oh, pointing out my flaws, my BS, and everything. It's like, okay, I kind of need a pick me up right now because I'm dealing with this shit. I'm dealing with that shit. Last thing I need is the people who I'm supposed to call family that I should be able to go to help pick me up. Also, fucking beat up on me.
I feel you on that one. I go through the same things. That's why I was saying, you take
Yeah,
moments in time to get away from everybody.
yeah,
You take moments in time to not think about your worries and try to focus on the positive. Because I tell people all the time, if you focus on only the negative, that's all you'll ever see. But if you focus on the positive, that's what you'll see more than the negative.
right. But see, you're missing my point though. It's like when I try to do that, and I try to find support for it. No matter where I go, it's always negative. No matter where I go, whether it's on the internet, off the internet, it doesn't matter. It's always there. Wherever I turn to, whoever I go to, it's always negativity here, negativity there, and it's what I mean. Like it's constant. Like I can't escape from it. It's everywhere I go to.
I understand, and that was my point. Is you have to find a way to get away from those things and or people that make you focus on the negative and physically focus on positive things in your life. Even if you have to, go to your room and shut everybody out, or take a drive. You know, you got to do something occasionally for your own mental health to just get away from everything. It's those moments in time. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be a long time. You just need to have that time to get away from whatever is bugging you and reset and go, okay, things aren't as bad as I think they are. You know, they could be worse. You know, sit back and think, oh well, I could be, missing a leg from, diabetes or having gone to war or something like that. So I don't have to deal with that right now. When you get away from everything, count the blessings that you have instead of thinking about any of the negative that goes on. No, Mandy, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying everybody needs to find a way to take moments in time for themselves. As I said, it can be going for a drive, it can be going for a walk, even. As long as you're getting away from whatever negativity is dragging you down. If you have young children, let get them into a daycare center for a couple of hours and just go and do something for yourself. That's how you take mental health breaks for yourself. And then, like I said, also you can go ahead and do something as simple as, let the family know, hey, I'm going to go take a bath, and go in and soak for an hour, and just let all the negativity wash away, and just focus on the good stuff that you have happening. That's how you do it.
Yeah, but that's
Agreed.
easier said than done.
And again, nothing in life that's easy is worth a damn. So you have to work at everything. So you just have to make that mindset that you're going to do it and do it. You gotta stop yourself from constantly dwelling on the negative and think about positive things. Right, Mandy, but that's why I said you have to focus on the positive when you get in your own head. You have to stop yourself and go, why am I thinking like this? Oh, it's because of X, Y, and Z. Well, it's not as bad as somebody that has PD and Q going on. So let me think about all the good stuff that's going on, that I have, a family that cares, or that I have, a roof over my head and food on my table, even though everything is going to shit around me. Think about the positives in your life and not the negatives. Also, that's one of the things about religion that helps a lot of people. It gives them that moment in time to get away and participate in church with people that they feel aren't as negative, and or everybody is there for a specific reason so that they can feel the positivity in themselves. But see, that's the other thing, Mandy, is you should not worry about things that are not within your control. Things that do not directly impact your life, you should not worry about. If you worry about, for example, if you worry about politics, then get involved in politics and make the change you want to see. Don't just sit and worry about it, do something about it. Be the positivity that you want to see, and make people believe that they can be the positivity for someone else, because everything is that 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. If you do something nice for somebody, it's going to make an impact in their life in some way, and they will most likely do something nice for somebody else along the way. So if you go ahead and you're doing good for others, whether they do good for you or not is irrelevant. It's the fact that you did something good for somebody else, and you should feel good about that.
All
And
right.
Savannah,
Well,
I understand you saying it's part of mental illness, but there's a lot of people that blame mental illness for things that they can actually change in themselves. They just don't want to. And again, they're taking the easy way out by blaming their mental illness instead of getting up
yeah,
and doing things.
yeah. I don't want to get into that conversation because we dealt with someone who was like that.
What if it impacts your life and you're not the one in control? How so, Mandy?
Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I gotta get back to work, and I'm gonna go
All right.
watch me some YouTube videos. But I
All
appreciate
right.
you having me on today.
Have a good one, Jason.
All right, you too.
You too. I'm just going to stay live long enough to have the conversation with Mandy about this. I don't understand how something that you're not in control of impacts your life. If you're talking about politics or like wars somewhere else, then you don't need to worry about those because it doesn't impact your life directly. Yes, it may down the line, but in the here and now, worry about what you have to deal with here and now and not what may happen. Oh, well, in a case like that, that's when it's it's a very hard thing to deal with. But one, that's where religion and faith come into play, where you feel that when they pass, they'll be in a better place and not in the pain and suffering of the world, and that one day you will be reunited with them in the afterlife, in whatever you believe in. And grief is something that is hard to get over, and some don't ever get over it. However, it's one of those things that only you can affect how you feel. And if you don't want to feel bad, you can make yourself not feel bad. The mind is a very powerful tool, and you can use it to find ways of coping and dealing with things that you never thought you could if you allow yourself. And with that, I think I'm going to end it all. I'm glad y'all came by. I'm glad we had these talks. We'll be live next Thursday for Alpha's after party. What happens if they're still alive? Well, if somebody is alive and has disconnected with you, then that's on them, not you. All you can do is live your life. I'm sorry you feel that way, Mandy. I'm just saying. It's just my opinions. Like I've said, I'm not a doctor or anything. I'm just using my years of experience to let people know how I deal with things. Have I ever gone through this? I'm 53 years old, Savannah. I've had many people very close to me pass away. So I have dealt with the grief and mourning, but I always have a different way of dealing with it than anybody else. A, I use dark humor to get through it, and B, I don't I don't dwell on the negatives. I look at, okay, they're no longer in pain, they're no longer in suffering, they're in a better place. And no, Mandy, I don't have kids. But if I had a child that passed, that's the same way I'm going to feel about them, even if they pass, is at least they're in a better place. And they do not have to have the pain and suffering anymore of this earth. Again, I tend to look at the positives more than the negatives. Well, Savannah, again, that, like I said, all you can do is live your life. And if that person gave you a better life and made you happy and they left you, that's on them, not you. You're still the same person. You just have different circumstances. So be the best person that you can be and find somebody that compliments you that's going to stick around. And again, like I said, everything that I'm telling you is easier said than done, and I understand that. But nothing that is worth a damn is easy. Everything that is hard allows you to feel accomplished and that you have accomplished something. So that's the way to look at it, is for every struggle you're going through, you are going to come out a better person on the other side. Because you're going to learn more about yourself and more about what not to do in the future, so you don't have to go through that same thing. people come and go in your life for one reason or another. They're either meant to be a window to what you need at that moment or to show you what you don't need at that moment. And that's the way to look at it. Right, Mandy. Be thankful they were in your life at all. Exactly. It's all about, like I said, it's all about finding the positives within the negative. The needle in the haystack, so to speak. And that's why I try to tell everybody, even I struggle with depression. And I go through my struggles. But I always hold out hope that it will get better. And I know it will. I just have to go through what I'm going through at the time. I can understand that, Savannah, but the other thing is, once you make yourself better and focus on the positive things will happen. And you'll start to see them happening more and more as you focus on the positives. So it's one of those things you gotta focus on what will better yourself and help you feel good again. But again, like I said, it's been a long live. We've had a lot of good discussions. I'm gonna end it. Y'all have a good night, and we'll talk to you either next Thursday for the after party or Monday when me and Jason sit down to do a album review for his album. Talk to y'all later.